Instead of striving to be the same, we should embrace our differences, lean into our polarities, know what makes us different, and we shall know ourselves. All right, so I just read something off of this journal that I have, and I wrote it down because it was just kind of a thought that came to my mind. So just to kind of, I guess, go over my general thoughts of this, we tend to kind of strive for the same things or the same types of goals, and that removes individuality, and that doesn't allow for us to really show our true selves and our true personality, and doesn't really allow us to shine through as much as we would like to, right? Or as much as we think we think are shining through, I suppose. And it's just a form of like a lack of awareness. We're not realizing that we're basically being carbon copies of everybody. We're not realizing that we are, different individuals, right? We might know that as a general thing because it's common sense, but all in the same, we try to be the same, right? And we sometimes, depending on what it is that we're good at, we might not realize what it is that we're good at, hence, polarities or what makes us different. So the things that we might have natural talents in, the things that we might have natural attractions to, and, things that we might have been really interested in as children, but for whatever reason dropped it when we became adults, right? Just the standard story of like that middle-aged man that wanted to join a band or wanted to be this artist, but then now he's working like a corporate job. Like, how many carbon copy men like that exist, like in today's age, in today's society, right? And have lived their entire lives without ever really truly knowing themselves, right? They've had wives, they've had children, they've had grandchildren, and they've just lived their lives not being to fully express themselves and who they are, and being able to put out stuff or create things that really shows their true identity as a creative or as a thinker or as a inventor. Right now they kind of just live their lives as a consumer, and now they're spreading that to their next generation and so on and so forth, until eventually maybe that one odd kid in the family tree breaks the cycle, right? But in general, we all get stuck in this pattern, in this loop, and we all end up doing the same things. We all end up striving for the same things. We all get stuck in the same traps, the same rat races, the same loops, the same holes. And then guess what? We all try the same exact methods in order to get out of these situations, right? And it's in the same, it's kind of like what is being showed to us. Like, in a way, we're kind of being told like, oh, you should all do this. We should all do this. We should all do that, right? We should all do the same exact thing. It's as if, we're being shown that, oh, this is the only options or the only couple of things we can do in order to get ourselves out of X, Y, and Z situations, right? And then so now, since you have all the same problems as everybody else and you have all the same goals as everybody else, the only thing that makes you different is your face and your name, right? But if that was taken away from you, we'd all be the exact same. And so we need to be able to find it, I'd say as early as you can, right? Even if you're already in your 40s working some corporate job or, running in loops or whatever, find that thing that makes you, I don't know, gives you so much joy, that makes you so much different from everybody else, and lean into it, right? And just go all out, go all into it, right? And especially when you're young, like, there's like almost zero risk involved with you starting up a band or, I don't know, doing some type of art gallery or something like that, or traveling around the world or whatever the case may be, because I'm assuming you probably don't have a family. You might not be in a lot of debt or any debt whatsoever. And if you have a job and you're saving money, you can just go out and do these things that can help you find yourself right now. I wouldn't say do anything reckless. And if what it is that you are kind of already attracted towards, right, in terms of career aspects, creative aspects, things you want to fulfill in your life, things that you already gravitate towards, and they don't need that much risk, like, going to a whole another country, then go ahead and see what you can do that's around you locally, right, on a local basis. So you don't end up just, I don't know, being like everybody else, right? Like it's so crazy. We all want the same shoes, we all want the same clothes, we all listen to the same music. Like nobody is the same. Like there's so many people, that I go to school with, and like they're literally carbon copy people. They're like the same exact type people, bro. Like I went to school like, south of America, so I don't know if you're from America or not, but predominantly black area, and it's like all of the kids that I grew up with, like they just get into the same things. It's like I only ever saw individuality if I knew them when they were young, when they were young and they weren't afraid to be into whatever it is that they liked. Like maybe they liked anime, maybe they liked to play video games, maybe they liked to play card games and stuff like that. But then, once they hit middle school and like, oh, that's not cool anymore, or the quote unquote cool kids run the school or whatever the case may be, now their individuality is taken from them and they're trying to be just like those same school kids, and they go into that throughout middle school, they go into that throughout high school, and then they go into that throughout the rest of their lives, right? Instead of sticking to what it is that they really enjoyed and that they gravitated towards, right? I've been told by my parents, or by my mother, or by my parents, that like I never seem to be afraid to be different. And I kind of start to see that now, because there's so many things that I do that like my parents question, like, what? Like, why would you do that? Or like, that doesn't make any sense. And so it's just kind of like, I don't do these things on purpose to go against the norm or just to be a contrarian, but I do these things because for me, it makes sense for me to do them. It just seems perfect. It seems natural. It just seems fitting for who I am, right? And when you do these things, when you go towards these things that seem more fitting to who you are as an individual, you are going to be able to find yourself a lot more. And you're going to be able to distinct yourself in a room from who you are, right? You're going to know what is yours. You're going to know what you have. You're going to know what you can do, right? You're not going to be comparing yourself to other people. If you can do this better, if you can do that better, and none of that matters, because you have your own things in your own life that you strive towards already, and that you've honed and you mastered and you figured out. And having that is so much more valuable than trying to outdo somebody else who's doing the same exact thing as you, right? Because if you just follow in the same direction as everybody else, you're going to go all to the same direction, right? So you want to follow the path that is least followed. Peace out.